Yo, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are back. It's been a little while. We like to welcome you back to the Double D's Let's Talk Ball podcast. We are your hosts, Damian Deshawn and D of D's Corner. Bruh, man, it's been a little while, man, and we were just talking offline and we got to talking, but we just been some busy dads, being dads, and it is football related, life related, and sometimes you just take, we end up taking a little bit of break because just got a little busy, man. But how you been, man?
Tired. I ain't been on, and it's been, like you said, just been busy. School started back, sports
Yeah,
started back, so
yeah.
graduations for the wife and stuff like that. So
I hear you
been
too,
busy,
man. Yeah, ripping
been
and
busy.
running, new jobs, new opportunities, all of that just hitting us, man. But to our viewers, we like to welcome y'all back. Please make sure that you hit like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you continue to stick with us. We're growing and we continue to move forward. But bro, let's just go ahead and dive into this camp news and what we have, the latest on the NFL. I mean, we've been away for a little while, but I guess we can start with some of the little film and videos that we have seen and some of the news that we do have going on in camp. I think we date back to one of the times we talked about Worthy. And
Yeah,
was there any cause for concern anywhere there? I would bring this up. We know he's a little light in the ass, as far as receivers go, but we all know about his speed. So we've been able to see that, and we know that well. But I do a comparison. I'm like, okay, his small frame ain't the same as Devontae Smith's small frame because we
hmm
had questions about him, and he's showed more longevity, durability, the ability to hang in there. He catches those passes across the middle at times, and he plays the outside. He has his role. He's one of the best in the league. But I would ask you, do you have any concerns long term for Worthy? Will he? You think he'll be able to hold up?
I mean, he held up in the SEC, so
Yeah.
I think he'll be all right. Um, some of this is Andy Reid knows how to use it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's had a player similar to him before in Deshaun Jackson,
Hmm.
someone who can fly. So I imagine once games start, like serious, you know what I'm saying, not these preseason games,
Hmm.
they'll move him around and stuff so that he's not getting touched as much. But it's camp, they don't get to be as physical as they used to be. You know
Hmm.
he's light in the tail, so why not just go ahead and let our players start roughing him up so that he can see what he's gonna see.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Um.
So I think he'll be all right. Now I
Hmm.
don't think that I don't necessarily say he'll I won't necessarily say he'll be Deshaun Jackson or
Yeah.
anything like that, but I think he'll be able to be decent, especially
Yeah.
when you got 15 throwing in the ball.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to get it misunderstood, to our viewers. I'm not saying he's soft, and I'm not saying that
Right.
I'm not saying that he's scary or anything like that. It's just we
He's
all know
frail.
his frame
He's
is not,
frail.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not built.
hmm
Normally, you got to be a unique player. So if he proves to be a unique player at that size, then hey, all power to him. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna go from this receiver and we're gonna go to another one. We got a few to talk about actually. I'm gonna
hmm
touch on Malik Neighbors and what's going on in Giants camp. He feisty, man. He like to
I,
smoke. He don't run.
I
I
told
just
you.
hope, yeah, I just hope he can, he can keep his temperament and his frustrations because he will show frustrations and it's
hmm
nothing new. We see fights in camp between between opposite teams practicing. We see this every year, even within their own teammates, so it's
hmm
nothing new here. It's just, will those spill over because there was some things when he first signed or got signed by the Giants, drafted and then signed. It's concerns where he get frustrated with the quarterback situation if Daniel Jones don't step up, if Daniel Jones don't get him the ball,
hmm
basically give me the damn ball.
Right.
Will he openly show this shit, on the field? Could we be running into that be an Achilles heel in his game? where his game on the field is solid, but in the ears may not be emotionally. What you think, man?
Yeah, if you watched Hard Knocks, he
Hmm.
was when they went through the draft. Hard Knocks was really starting to take off, bro. It used to be just during training camp. They done got
Yeah.
one. They got one for the off season, training camp,
Oh, wow.
and during the season now. So
Okay.
the Bears are up now, but they were doing the off season with the Giants, and they brought
Mhm.
neighbors in, and that was one of the things Brian Daboll had asked him. He was like, "What's your attitude like?" He was like, "I don't mind no dog, you know what I'm saying? I need some
Mhm.
dogs." He was like, "But are you I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but pretty much like, can you control it? Can you maintain it? Can you
Yeah.
harness it? Like it, I don't need it to become a distraction."
Uh-huh.
He they showed a play maybe this morning, maybe from yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Uh Drew Lock, he was wide open, and Drew Lock just didn't even toss it. He didn't even throw the ball.
Wow.
He didn't even throw the ball. So he just was standing there like, I was like, this is what we talked about when
Is what
we
we
talked
talk
about it.
about.
We talked
Yeah.
about it. And it's not
Yep.
for me. For me, I don't think it's like a sorry for the camera now. Out of
Mhm.
nowhere, bro. Out of nowhere, bro. It just started getting dark over here and like it's been hot. It's been hot as the devil ass all day. All day. All day. Got all the I got the army worms everywhere, man. But so but he it was something that we talked about. I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It don't matter where you work at. Who wants to go to work and be dependent on somebody and know the person that you dependent on sucked? So now your evaluation is off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand that.
Mhm.
I completely get that. So if he was playing with there was put it like this, he was playing with a good quarterback in Jaden Daniels. They didn't
Mhm.
win last year, his last year in college.
Mhm.
Was he acting a fool? Was he cutting up? Because he had somebody who can get him the ball. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
you can't control if you win or lose. But if I got somebody that can get me the ball and I know that
Mhm.
I can contribute, if I
Yeah.
let it all out there, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if I'm
I
going out
got
there and
you.
I'm wide open and they not throwing me the ball, I'm finna jump and act a fool now.
Yeah. This seems to be a bit of a receive. This is going to be a bit of a receiver-centric show because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the news is involved receivers. We know CeeDee Lamb situation in Dallas, but going around camp, I know you've seen film of Keon Coleman. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, looking like he's going. I mean, without a with by default, he's going to be number one in
Right.
Buffalo, and probably one of your fantasy favorites. You know, if you're picking,
Mm-hmm.
so you fantasy people out there, keep that name down or keep that name in your pocket. Another guy I wanted to talk about though. I just wanted to throw Keon's name out there was before we get into one of the major situations that we haven't had a chance to discuss when it comes to contract situations. Um, I was just asking you about Indianapolis and if there's anything in detail more you can give on the Josh Downs and what happened.
Downs.
Yeah.
So all it was is Josh caught a ball and Nick crossed safety.
Hmm.
Um, he's been running with the ones. It's literally storming over here now, bro. It's literally storming over here now, bro. But
We're
he
gonna keep it moving.
he pretty much tried to take him to the ground. I think kind of rolled up his leg. So,
Okay.
but he'll be out for about 6 weeks. But it's a I ain't gonna say a blessing at all because it's messed
Hmm.
up because we need him. But it's a good opportunity now for AD Mitchell to step up. But Latu he been running with the ones and he been killing it,
Killing it.
killing it, killing it. He seems as advertised, and we had one of our defensive ends, Samson Epicon, towards Achilles,
Oh.
first week of practice or something. So
Uh-huh.
it was just I guess luck of the draw that we drafted that he fell
Yeah.
to us when he did, but yeah, he looked pretty good. Looked pretty good.
Okay. Um, I wanted to touch a little bit on. I saw some more video of quarterbacks that were drafted. Like you mentioned, I haven't watched the game, but I've heard, and you just mentioned to me also, Penix is looking pretty solid in his preseason debut. I saw some camp footage of our guy in Denver not looking too shabby.
Knicks.
Yeah, Bo Nix. I mean, it was a little film, a little throwing, but doing what he does, run,
Yeah.
improviser type quarterback. I mean, that's probably how he's gonna have to carve his niche. I got a good comp for him, which
You
if
gotta
this,
remember their defense is gonna suck too.
yeah,
Their
yeah,
team is gonna suck. So
yeah. I mean,
how good they're looking.
if he could be a player, if you remember this player's name, Rich Gannon,
Hmm.
journeyman, but a solid quarterback all the way around, sort of like how Gardner Minshew is. Uh, he is what he is, but he's a solid backup. You know, that's where I see Bo Nix's career
Oh yeah.
probably going. Very good long career as a backup, but solid. When asked
Just
to play.
especially because it's more of a mobile quarterback.
Yeah,
So he fits in because he can do that.
yeah. But another concerning thing is I necessarily didn't see bad things, but I didn't necessarily like what I saw from my guy JJ McCarthy. It's like, okay, what we getting what we expected. I saw just a little film. It wasn't nothing really, offer one little piece or two pieces here to say, oh, he's
Yeah.
horrible. But it looked, it was some shakiness. It's kind of like what we saw little red flags with our guy Bryce Young, and
Yeah.
we're still seeing red flags with Bryce Young. We're like, okay, I don't know if you're gonna be able to make it. I ain't wishing it bad on you, but it's some concerning things that I saw.
Bryce
Um,
needs Bryce needs one of them coaches like Shanahan,
yeah,
McVay,
yeah.
somebody who can protect him and put a nice team
Mhm.
around him because he can be. And I didn't mean to cut you off, bro, but
No, you good.
uh,
Good.
he can. I think Bryce can be a tool
Yeah.
in the right system with the right guys around him.
Hmm.
He'll do. And what we know about Bryce from his time in college, he's not going to put the ball necessarily, in harm's way.
Yeah.
I think Bryce can be a great game manager for, like I said, one of them offensive
Hmm.
stylistic coaches. I just don't know. I don't know that this coach is going to be, but I just think that organization that's a whole different, that's a whole
Yeah.
different dive. That's a whole different dive. But
I know. With Bryce, man, it seems, and I just put it out there, it seems like he's always constantly had to battle with genetics. Because
mhm.
if Bryce Young is 6'1" at the minimum, we're not having this discussion.
if he
It's
if he's
because
like
it's a,
if he's like Jaden Daniels,
yeah,
small and frail but
yeah.
tall as hell,
Yeah,
we
we're not
wouldn't be
having a
having these
discussion.
issues.
We were having these issues. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's at the minimum 6 foot, 6'1", 210 or
Mhm.
205, it's a whole different ball game for him. I mean, it's a few inches, no diddy, that's making a difference here. I mean, that's really making a difference because I mean, when we sit back and you watch his passing and his arm talent, that's not the question.
Yeah,
We're not questioning this about him. The only
right.
questions are his his frame. Sort of like what we said about Worthy. Can he overcome his stature? He was able to overcome it in high school, was able to overcome it in college. But now we're talking about a different game. And this
Right.
game can eat the little guy up, no Diddy again. But but I didn't mean to say it that way, but let me get that straight. But I mean, you could just see that game, just the pro game can really be really tough on a little guy, and it takes unique little guys over generations of the sport being played that show themselves. We can count, on our hands the little guys that have been successful in the league, especially in the modern era. I'm trying to think if there's any other camp news before we move on to one of the big and talking points. There's anything you got? Oh, I talked.
uh,
You got anything? Go ahead, and I'll
Go ahead.
touch on it. No, I was
Just
gonna say
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
I was gonna say what we talked about offline. If anybody gets a chance to see the Rams camp, to see Jarrett versus uh humiliation of a certain lineman. I don't know who it was. But he pretty much uh just pushed the power, speed to power situation, sort of like those of you who watch it or know fans that happened in the Florida game. He pretty much did him like that. He tackled, it would have been a tackle the quarterback with the
Yeah.
lineman situation. Not only that, but I had a question for you before you go ahead. Baltimore, there was the Baltimore camp practice. I don't know which corner that was. I was trying to find out. I was wondering if it was Nate Wiggins or not, but it was a DB that was basically jammed this receiver, locked him up. And on the pass, it wasn't the best pass, but he jammed him up with him step for step, then picked it off. And it was kind of like one of the highlights of the Baltimore camp. I think it may have been yesterday or the day before. You
I
have to
didn't see
catch that
that.
film?
I
Okay.
didn't see that, but I just saw Nate Wiggins break up a pass a little while ago.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
like he for him to be small, he's still sticky and cut, and that's a. But for him, it's different. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? He's just thin.
Mhm.
He's still got size,
6'1" stature.
the length,
Mhm.
no Diddy.
Yeah.
So, but Tyreek Hill, he's a smaller statured guy,
Mhm.
but he's still
Mhm.
built like a football player. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
he's
saying?
compact.
So
Yeah.
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 So Bryce is just small and frail. He's
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is
But you had a question or something you wanted to touch on?
what it is. But I,
Kind of breaking up.
yeah, it's literally coming down now, bro.
Yeah, I got you.
It's
We're
literally
gonna work
storming
with
down
it,
here now.
man. Y'all bear with us.
So
It's the technical
so
difficulties.
and mind you, it wasn't supposed to rain for the next 2 weeks. So I'm
Yeah.
thankful that it's raining because, like I said, it's hot as hell outside.
Yeah, cool
But
down everything.
but the dogs are outside.
Oh man. Well, I see you still having some difficulties there, man. Your screen freezing, but we're gonna keep talking about it, man.
Be on the porch.
Until you get on, if you can hear me, I want to talk about the Brandon Ayuk situation.
Mhm.
I heard New England at once, I heard the Browns, but now it seems to be a lot of Steelers talk. Have you had a chance? I know in our busy schedules, we haven't had a chance to deep dive, but have you heard anything in which you can add to that you may have heard or touched on?
Yeah. So what I saw today now is it's kind of now looking more likely that he'll stay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mhm.
It looks more likely that he'll stay with the Niners.
Okay.
Um, and that's who I was getting ready to start talking about
Okay.
was the Steelers
Hmm.
because Russell Wilson isn't playing, Justin Fields is, and
Hmm.
he he don't look. Their offense kind of looks exactly like it did last year. They started off out with a screenplay, but after
Hmm.
that, kind of nothing. I think he fumbled 2 snaps already. So I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know. But it's been reported with the Brandon Ayuk thing that he turned down 32 million a year with the Pats.
hmm.
Um, I'm assuming he's willing to take 28 or so with the Steelers.
Hmm.
But now I guess since they know it's between 28 and 32, I'm assuming now the Niners are going to try to work something out.
I got you.
Or him and his representation are probably going to allow them the opportunity to match or whatever the case may be. Because
Yeah.
realistically, man, you don't want to go to New England. You don't know what the hell
Yeah.
their quarterback situation is going to be.
Yeah.
You don't. He didn't want to. He would have gone to the Browns, I guess, but
Hmm.
they were offering up Amari Cooper as well. But do
Hmm.
you really want to go to the Browns when you don't know what type of Deshaun Watson you're getting? And
Yeah.
then to the Steelers. Yes, Mike
Hmm.
Tomlin does find a way to win. That it's a good organization, a good culture, all that crap. They're phenomenal in how they end up with receivers.
Hmm.
Um, but if you're trying to win, you're closer to winning with San Fran.
Yeah.
You're closer to winning with
Yeah.
San Fran.
Yeah. I mean, that's the nature of the pro game. I'm like, if you're gonna get a lot of times, most of the time you get your money, you're gonna end up on a bad team.
Yep.
So either you stay with a good team and take close to what
That
you want or
hometown
around it,
discount.
or that hometown discount, or you go get the big bag and end up
Yep.
in a situation like we've seen a lot of players end up in a bad on one of the worst teams or a bad team, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not winning. So you got to decide: do you want to win? You want to get paid? Either way, or do you want to win while you're getting paid? Because either way, you're gonna get paid. It's just, how much of that bag you want, how much of it you willing to, like you said, discount.
And
Um,
the Pats just released Juju
Miss
Schuster.
Schuster,
Yeah,
yeah,
they just
yeah,
released him. So
yeah. So I mean, and that's a team that is building from scratch, and I hear that and Matt Patricia's their OC, right? Did they bring him back?
no, mm-mm,
Okay,
no,
I
I don't
think I
remember
had
who
that
their
wrong. I don't
I
remember
don't
who it
remember who
is
their
either.
OC is. I
Okay,
don't remember who their OC is. But
but
man, they before we do anything else, man, if with you on here, you asked me about the Colts. We got to talk about the Cowboys.
yeah,
Did you
I
see
mean,
what Jared Jones said about CD?
no, I missed that. That's what I'm saying. I've been busy, and like in the off season with the Cowboys, sometimes I'm hit or miss with watching them, getting information because it's so much fluff and
Yeah.
just stuff to be either trolled with or sometimes I'm one of
Mhm.
like I said, I'm one of them Cowboys fans that I don't want to hear all that bullshit.
Right.
I want to win.
Yeah. So
I want you to put together a product, but you let me know what's going on. Let the
so
viewers.
they asked him pretty much. They asked him was he in a rush to get CD Lamb's deal done.
Hmm.
He said no, and then they asked him why, and then he made a joke. He was like, "Because I went to high school and I graduated from high school and I graduated from college." He was like, "I
Hmm.
don't know." He said, "Just pick a reason. I'm not in no rush to sign the deal." So CD and I guess the Cowboys people, tweeted something that CD retweeted and was like, "LOL" or whatever. But that led, Hollywood Browns now in Kansas City. They
Hmm.
both played together in Oklahoma. So that led CD now removed the Cowboys from his
Social media.
picture of them two in Oklahoma, and then
Mm,
CD did the same thing. So now, like the
okay.
speculation was like, what could he end up in Kansas City?
Hmm.
But Jerry, Jerry Jones, man, I would just, to be honest with you, I would just go ahead and blow this whole thing up because how he has handled this offseason, man.
Yeah.
Micah's not signed, Dak's not signed, CD's not signed. You don't really have you don't have a Super Bowl caliber roster.
No.
Sam Williams, I think, tore his Achilles or his ACL.
Hmm.
Now they're using Micah more as a linebacker than a rush in. You got Diggs is coming back from a torn ACL. Gilmore's gone. Your safety position is weak. Your linebacker position is weak.
Yep.
You're gonna have at least two new starters, possibly two rookies on your offensive line. You're not gonna have a rushing game.
Yeah.
Your coach and your DC are both on 1 year deals. Like I would just blow this up. I would just blow this up. You now have the potential to somehow, some way, maybe not again in his lifetime, but maybe in his son's, to trade some players away now and find you a new triplets.
Yeah. Rebuilt the
Because
team.
realistically, that's the way. And to be honest with you, that's the way the league is going now. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's been that way all about the quarterback and all about the offense.
Yeah. It was something I was just seeing too, just like with the whole Trey Lance trade. I mean, what are you getting from that? When we
Right.
just mentioned, he's debuting against the Rams in the preseason, and it'll be his first game in a year and a half. Any live football, and you questionable. We went from a first round pick to we pretty much saying straight garbage.
Right.
Bust. And it was just a bad evaluation because it was a COVID evaluation, and he didn't even play that year that they
Yeah, he didn't
evaluated
play.
him.
He didn't play.
So
Right.
so Dallas is in a shitty position, and I'm one of them fans. I say it, and I probably irritate some of the Dallas fans when I say it, but I really wish he'd sell the team because all I see the Cowboys have become are the Raiders under Al Davis. We are a lot of flash, a lot of flamboyance, maybe good enough to get to a playoff or consistently be a playoff team, but not a pro team. We're not. I mean, not a Super Bowl caliber team. And then now you watching the other teams in your division get better. Even though it looks like it on paper, we know the Eagles are a better roster. We know the Washington's coming. They're building their roster
Yep.
up. They're already just maybe about 2 players on defense from being better than you. And then the
The
Giants are
Giants
really
could end.
our quarterback from being
The
better than
Giants
you.
really. Yep. And
And
the crazy
maybe
thing
an
is,
offensive lineman, but now with the Cowboys offensive line, that's push now.
but the crazy thing is, the Cowboys could end up. I mean, the Giants could end up with your quarterback next
Yeah,
year.
exactly.
So
And for the free, you know,
yeah.
for the free.
So
And then
I mean,
you up Shit's Creek drafting high and probably screwing it up.
big time, big
Yeah.
time.
Because Jerry's the type of guy that will end up with the first pick and he'll take damn Quinn yours.
He says he's.
You there? I think I lost you a little bit there. That rain is coming down, man.
It's raining on your end too.
No, on your end, you kind of
Oh
freezing a
yeah,
little bit. Yeah.
yeah. I just was looking on the cameras to see if it still was. It's coming down.
Yeah. But no, it ain't hit us yet. But man, yeah, it's just that's a concern for me with Dallas. It's the same old, same old. No running game. You bring back an aging running back just for nostalgia. You have big holes and questions that on the offensive line. You got questions at every position, damn near, on defense. What are you
Yeah,
getting from your defensive line? Demarcus Lawrence has disappeared once he signed the contract. Michael's moving around, but he's frustrated. Your interior defensive line is fucking Swiss cheese. You don't have no linebackers, as you said. You have two good corners, but they're susceptible, and one's coming off an ACL injury. Your safeties are average at best. You don't have no elite players at every level. And
and
those good teams have that.
we're gonna find out. Not, and I don't think. I think Diggs is a solid man-to-man corner.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna find out about Bland though, because if
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken, Zimmer runs like he puts those corners on the eye. So
yeah.
it's not gonna be a Dan Quinn zone. Keep your eyes on the football type deal. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be manned up.
Trail man.
Diggs wasn't. Neither one of them were the fastest coming out. Diggs is
No.
coming off an ACL. They're both susceptible. Just with their eyes alone, are susceptible to double moves. So
Yep.
now that you got to actually stick somebody man to man, we'll see how that goes there. I'm not
Yeah.
saying, like I said, I'm not saying that they can't do it or anything like that. That just hasn't been the scheme that they've been successful in.
And then look at the division. You
And look at the
facing
division.
Neighbors. You facing McLaurin. You facing Brown and Smith. I mean, it's some, and then not to mention whoever else is on your schedule that has an elite level one or a solid one, and even two twos that are solid.
Yeah.
Because we've seen those corners, Bland and Weston, they'll bite, and Diggs a bite,
Hmm.
even with an average level wide receiver. If you just
Yep.
scheme, they can be schemed against. And if man is not a strong suit for them, then I'm man, I look like I'm headed back to the early 2000s, man. Before we discovered Tony Romo, I think we're gonna go through a hard period here, which it's fine. I just wish that Jerry would make the decision or have somebody make the decisions that he made 30 years ago.
Yeah.
About the team and not about the fame. And he's more in his twilight, trying to be more about just the recognition and the fame, and we're
Yeah.
this and we're that, instead of building a program out of his team. The mentality we've discussed before, the mentality and the attitude in the locker, it's not one of the old Dallas teams. Physical football team. You knew when you played those Jimmy Johnson teams and into the latter years that you would get. Because there was even times in this last century, this current century we're in the last 20 years, when they had Marion Barber, there was an attitude when Bill Parcells was there. You see what I'm saying? But anybody that's had that kind of mentality or philosophy about building that team, they eventually leave, because those kind of coaches butt heads with Jerry, because they're going to tell Jerry, this is how I want it to do. I don't care what you want. I don't care about the glitz and glamour. I want a hard edge team, a hard nosed
Right.
team. Yeah. But man, I ain't gonna stick on Dallas because it's a frustrating thing. But I can, just talking in general and as being I'm talking as a fan and then just someone who's just breaking down the truth about what I see and speaking from a non-biased place. We've talked about it. Somebody got to go. You got pieces here. Trade Dak and CD or trade Micah. The value, what you can get for them, use those to build picks. You're gonna be trash eventually anyway. So take your pick, build off somebody else's picks. You got those guys are enough that they're enough of a commodity where you couldn't get the traditional cowboy snub where they try to shit them with picks.
Right, right,
Well,
right,
we'll give you for CD Lamb, we'll give you a third and a fifth. The hell you not. You better give me
right.
a one this year, maybe a two, a three, and a five next year. That's what I better get. Micah two. No, I want two ones.
And I said they'll probably be able to get two
Yeah,
ones from Micah,
a one. You could get a one. Like I
one
said,
from
a one.
Dak.
Yeah, I mean, and I would dump, and I said it, dump at least two. You got to dump at least two, and then you can pay that one and just build the team around that one, which the one you most likely gonna end up wanting to keep is Dak. So that means trade CD, trade Micah, accumulate picks because they're younger, trade them, get all the picks, rebuild, and fill the holes you need. You need defensive tackles. You need a solid linebacker. You need more secondary help. You still need offensive line help because Zach Martinez is getting older. You really don't know what you get from Terrence Steele. You know, Once again, another player signs a deal and then they turn right back into the pumpkin. You know, you know, it's ridiculous when you talk about that. I mean, it's not a poorly run organization, and it doesn't have to be. But for some reason, they can't get out of the administration can't get out of the way of the team's ability. This is like how many times have we seen this? We saw this in the Romo era. Talented enough team to win a damn Super Bowl, all pro players on all levels, but you can't get there because you can't get
Right.
out of your own way. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is, man. Um, any other news?
No, I'm gonna ask
You
you
got
one
any?
more question, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask you one more question. Hopefully, my network allow me to keep cutting in and
yeah,
out, man.
yeah, yeah.
But with Brandon Ayuk, where it could be Pittsburgh, it could be any of the teams that were listed, or
Hmm.
any other team. Where would you like to see him? Where you think that he could be most successful?
Now you said of the three teams that were mentioned, or just adding? I mean,
It
because I
could
think
be
he
those
functions.
teams, or
Yeah.
any team that you just think.
Well, I'll keep it with the three teams that we mentioned. The Browns. I think he would be he would function really solid with the Browns. I know we don't know Deshaun Watson situation. Coming back from all the off season and then injuries here and there. But even having a comparable backup like Jameis would also at least give him the ability to still get the ball. And of the three teams that were mentioned, that's the best quarterback situation, to be
Yeah,
honest, between starter and backup. You know, you look at New England. Something I didn't get to mention coming out of New England right now. Joe Milton is outperforming Drake May.
that
You
boy's
know,
balling.
So, I mean, they may have, this may be a crazy situation for them if this is going on. So
Right.
the quarterback situation all the way around for those three teams, the best of the bunch right now is the Browns. On paper,
Yeah.
it looked like the Steelers, but actuality, it may be the Browns with the best situation. And the Browns have the best capital to have traded for him. Amari Cooper would be he's not over the hill, but I mean, he's not the younger Amari Cooper anymore. But
Right.
fitting, I mean, you could see him in a situation in San Francisco. He's still gonna eat in that
Yeah,
situation.
because he's
Mhm.
still a technician on his routes,
Yeah.
and from what we know about Purdy, he's gonna be accurate with the ball. He's gonna put the ball where it's
Hmm.
supposed to be,
Supposed to be.
especially if they're on rhythm, especially if they're on
Yeah.
rhythm. I was shocked, and this will be my last thing.
Hmm.
I was
Well, you went froze again, man. That rain coming down, man. Well, everybody just forgive us for this. We bear with us. We just having a little weather in our area, and it's causing his camera to go bad.
Yeah.
Um, but go
I
ahead, man. Continue on.
I'm trying to see if it's gonna keep. So
Uh,
I was shocked that the Commanders pulled out. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. You went out again.
Okay. So I said I was shocked to see that the Commanders had pulled out with
Hmm.
the fact that Ayuk had wanted to be there and it would be beneficial for their rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen what San Fran was requesting.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah. They might have been asking a high price, like we said, first rounder or high second round or something like that. So I could see where the Commanders like, no, we're not going to leverage our future
yeah,
on a receiver when, especially when we have the weapons they already have. It's not worth it. You got a young
well,
quarterback. You're not in an all in situation right now, so
right,
I wouldn't have wanted to do that either. We're not all in right now. We're building up to get all in with a franchise quarterback. We got key pieces with a running game. We got wide receivers. Our defense won't be bad. We can add more pieces there. So why give up picks that we can add to building up this young team? So I can see why they and understand. I'm glad they did it because that'd be another damn receiver that we have to worry about in Dallas. But another damn receiver. You already got, you got a duo in Philly. Now you got a duo in damn Washington. We ain't got to deal with that.
I wonder if
Yeah,
they'll go back. I wonder if they'll revisit that.
yeah, it's a
I
possibility.
wonder if they'll try to revisit that. So
Yeah, but we like to thank
that's all.
everybody.
Yeah,
We're just gonna keep it short tonight. We thank everybody for tuning in. We just touched on some camp news, a couple little things, man. If you got anything you want to add, D, before we close
no,
out, you
I'll
good?
probably cut out anyways.
But make sure y'all tap in to Double D's Let's Talk Ball podcast. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to tap in with you see it right there under the name DSCORNER 24. D's Corner. We're gonna pick it up as the season starts to kick off. We got preseason games coming in, so we're gonna get back in the grind, get back on the game. Also tap in with us. We will be starting us a little league here soon. With Double D's Gaming and continuing our college football 25 and learning these new rosters and new plays. They added
Right.
8 shotgun formations now. Madden 25 is dropping soon, so we know it's more stuff to keep us busy during the season. The season for college is cranking up, so college ball talk is dropping. My nose about 2.5 weeks away, I believe, from kicking it off against Georgia Tech. It's a lot of things going on there. You got some big games coming, the Florida Miami game. Uh, but we'll tap in with y'all. I think Georgia Clemson. We got a lot of good week 0 to week 1 games getting ready to start and crank this thing up, as well as the NFL. We just appreciate y'all. We like to thank y'all. And once again, make sure that you hit like, share, and subscribe. And we out.